IRTS Live is brought to you by United Players. It takes the hood to save the hood. Lifelong medical care, offering high-quality health, dental, and social services to all ages and incomes. Safe Source, LLC, where safety is our engine, and we are the key that starts it. This episode is powered by PlushLifeMedia.com. Let us remix your digital presence. Hey, we've got gear. Visit IRTSShow.com for coffee cups, caps, t-shirts, and just added IRTS Live mouse pads and personal protective masks. Founded by our own Ryan Nicole. Check out Haven, a cultural media production and distribution initiative for housing justice. Find out more at havenprojectoakland.com. Join DJs Big Russ and CJ Flash for the world-famous show live Fridays, noon to 4 Pacific. Catch them on the following social media platforms. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email us at info@irtsshow.com.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You got the almighty DJ CJ Flash back with another brand new live episode of I Remember That Song. And it's brought to you by, you saw the sponsors. Yes. Now, before I even talk about the show, I'm not going to talk about the show. I'm going to bring somebody else out that knows all about the show. Fantastic show lined up for you. Please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Dub.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to talk about the show. You want me to talk about the show.
You have to talk about the show.
Well, one of us got to talk about the show, so it may as well be me.
Yes.
All right. I accept that. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Jerry Dub. I'm your host of IRTS Live. Like you said, I remember that song. We do have a great show tonight. Just me and my friends going to sit around and talk to. You're going to have to wait another couple seconds before I even say her name, but it's going to be great. Bring my friends in so we can get this thing started. We run a little bit late tonight, so let's get back on track. There we go. There's my glamorous lives.
We're not late. We on Black History Month time.
That's a whole nother level right there, Ryan. That's a whole nother level.
It is. So they
expect that from you. I expect that from you. Since you're on Black History Month time, you go ahead and go first and say hello to everybody. Ryan,
hello, everybody. Happy Black History Month. What it do?
Yeah, she's a resident poet laureate here on the team and like that, you know. So down on the bottom left, we have the CEO of Plush Life Media.
Hey,
got a different head wrap on this week. That's Tracy Anderson. Hi, Tracy.
I'm trying to give you a little Queen Latifah, and listen, don't judge me if the head wrap falls off in the middle of the show. It's the wrap that I was trying to accomplish. So listen, we're family.
It looks good.
It's working. It's working right now.
Now, speaking of head wraps, you know what? Everybody
act like head cases.
Everybody act like you don't see it. Act like you don't see it. Hey, Russ, what's going on, bro? You're muted.
Hey, you guys, don't judge me if my head wrap falls off during the show. Don't judge me. No judgment.
Wow.
Here we go.
Knock that thing off your head. How about?
Okay, Russell Gatewood, believe it or not, is one half of the world famous. He's been playing music in the Bay Area for well over 25 years. He's got a head wrap on tonight. What's your t-shirt tonight, Mr. T-shirt Guru?
Mr. T-shirt Guru.
What you got on?
Keeping it old school.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
What is that?
Is that a Maxell or is that a TDK?
It's a TDK, brother.
Okay.
It's a TDK iPod, Ryan.
Oh, it's an iPod. Got it. Thank you.
Of sorts.
Yes.
All right.
How many gigs on that thing?
2.
Oh.
You need a pencil to get it going. So.
I want that shirt.
All right. So look,
I'll trade you for a head wrap.
We out of control already. We about 5 minutes into the show. CJ Flash is the musical director of IRTS Live, and he is up there, right there. How you doing, CJ?
Absolutely fantastic, brother. How you?
You drinking that goofy juice like the rest of this team is doing right now?
I got to stay in control, man. If
Okay, please.
they can go all out. That's good.
You and me will handle things tonight. So listen, before we get the show started, I got a new segment that we're going to do from time to time, especially when we get a new sponsor. So tonight we have a new sponsor, Safe Source LLC. Can we bring in Mr. Kevin Tennyson?
We most certainly.
There he is. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Look at this man.
What's up?
Hey.
He got it.
What's going on, y'all?
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
we're good. We're good.
Yeah, man,
I'm great. I'm absolutely wonderful.
I love it.
fan.
Yeah. Do you have a cigar? Is that a cigar?
I'm like, I said aficionado, but
He fancy, huh?
listen.
I told them all, I don't go anywhere without mine. I keep mine with me. I got 2 or 3 in my pocket on a regular.
Well, all right then.
Where you go?
He said, "Is that a Cuban in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?"
Hey.
What? Talking about cigars.
What is going on over there? All right,
family
Kevin, welcome to the team, my friend. Welcome to the team. Tell us what
I
made you
appreciate it.
decide to come on board.
Well, like I told you before, I saw one of your last episodes, and it actually had the large promo that you just played. How apropos that you played the promo prior to me coming on. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Here we go. So that just kind of inspired me, and I started looking at what I got going on right now, and I said, you know what? My wife and I have been supporters of your show for quite a while now, and we made a decision to just move forward.
Well, I appreciate that. And that lovely voice that you heard was the one and only Miranda Wilson, who's the one who you were listening to say Safe Source LLC. So tell everybody, what is Safe Source LLC?
Safe Source LLC is a consulting firm. What we do is we do environmental health and safety consulting. So we consult and contract out with different vendors, and then the vendors tell us what their problem is, maybe an OSHA violation, or they need their safety programs updated. They haven't had a safety team in how many years, and they've completely out of compliance. And what Safe Source does is we come in and we actually look at what you have going on already, and then we make changes, we update your program, and we bring you back into compliance. So let's say, for instance, you have a OSHA violation, and basically you're out of compliance. We look at the violation, and then we determine how to fix that circumstance that got you into that violation in the first place. And then we move forward with whatever else needs to be addressed in your facility.
Nice. So how long you been with them?
Well, actually, I own the company.
Oh,
so Safe Source LLC is actually my company in which we go out and we contract with other vendors. So, for instance, if IRTS Live needs someone to come in and actually make sure that they're compliant with all of the Cal OSHA environmental health regulations, we would come in and look at exactly what your facility has, what you have in place, what you don't have in place, and then provide you with some type of format in order for that to get you back into compliance.
Mm-hmm. So how big or how small of a company do you work with?
So the company that I'm contracted with right now is a Fortune 500 company. It's a $20+ billion facility. And we come in and we provide those programs or advice and consultation to ensure they keep complying with the regulations. And one of the things I want to touch on is that we have achieved a few milestones with the company that we're working with right now. One of the things when we stepped forth onto their facility is that their injury rate was extremely high. That means that they had multiple injuries. Some of them were recordables with OSHA, which means they want to come out and view your facility to see why these people keep getting injured. And once we stepped on the scene, we started addressing some of the problems that they had. And by the end of 2020, we had a 36% reduction in their injury rates, and they had zero lost time, meaning that none of the injuries that took place on the facility caused that particular employee to be out a day or 2 or 3 or a week or what have you. We got them right back to work, and they were able to perform in their tasks. and continued on with the job at hand. So that 0 lost time actually was the first 0 lost time that the company has ever had in the history of that company. And we were able to achieve that for them. So thank you.
Fantastic.
All
So
right,
look,
all right.
I thank you for coming on board. We're going to make you proper for a little while here. And I want you to know that you're part of the family. So much so that I sent you a mouse pad, right? Right?
Yes.
Right.
Did we
And
rehearse it? We
I'm not
rehearsed
going to
it.
tell you what I'm not going to tell you what I did with it. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with it. So
Yeah,
actually, I'm utilizing it as it should be used. I'm utilizing
you.
it as a mouse pad.
Tell him down in the corner there. But look, thank you for real. Thank you for being part of the team. And I want you to Russ and Kevin are very good friends, everybody. So don't pay any attention to that. So thank you for being part of the team. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. And we're going to run your commercial a couple more times. But don't go anywhere. Tell your friends to watch the rest of the show because we got a good one lined up for you tonight. All right.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
That's Kevin Tennyson
Thank
from
you,
Safe
Kevin.
Source
Thank
LLC,
you.
a new sponsor of IRTS Live. Thank you, brother.
Hey. All right.
All right.
Now, is he going to hang with us or is he going to be in the green room?
He's going to be in the green room or wherever he wants to go.
Okay.
I'll hang out in the green room for a little while, and then I might just kind of watch you guys for the rest of the evening.
Enjoy the snacks.
Oh, definitely.
Save us some.
And the libations.
There you go.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Same to you.
All right. So, Mr. Doug, we have a lot of people in our comments section here.
Already.
And so everybody that is watching, make sure that you swipe and invite so that everyone else that you know in your network can also be involved. Looks like we have a lot of our regulars. We have the one and only watching from YouTube, Michael Austin. Nice picture, brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. Michelle, thank you for tuning in on Facebook. Let's see, we have Joan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Looks like we really have a lot of people. Luther Vandross, a good a friend of mine. On YouTube.
Luther Vandross. Okay, it took me a minute. I get it.
To do in terms of YouTube because I don't know. We have subscribers, but I think we could do better. What do you think?
I think so too. I would love to see more subscribers on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So anytime you hear the name Ryan, that means somebody should be running to go subscribe to our
let me help him right now. Ryan.
It's free. It's free.
So anytime you see her beautiful face on screen as well, even if we don't say her name, that means go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Oh, those braids are so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay. So make sure you drop in where you are viewing from in the comments, and we will check back in with you momentarily. Mr. Dove.
All right. I like it when you call me Mr. Dove.
Ooh.
I like that. I don't know why, but I just do. You know, I don't get called that.
Well.
I don't get called that very much.
Well,
okay, we ready for a great show? Or as James Brown would say, y'all ready for some super dynamite fun?
Sure.
Yes, we are ready.
Tonight is our show. IRTS Live is presenting the Women of Funk.
All
and
right.
we have one of the originals with us tonight. Our guest, Patryce Choc'Let Banks, is one of the original members of Graham Central Station. She played the electric funk box, and she was the only female verse you heard, and she sounded so good. Choc'Let has written 3 books, including Deja Vu, Memoirs of a Funk Diva. She has her own podcast and a clothing line too at onestopfunkshop.com. We'll give you all that information a little bit later as this show continues on. We're happy to have her here. Say hello, and this will be the last time I say Patryce because she wants everybody to call her Choc'Let.
Mm-hmm.
Come on to the show, lady.
Yay! Choc'Let.
Welcome, welcome, beautiful.
Hey.
Hi.
Good to see
How you guys doing?
Good.
How are you?
How you doing?
You've been watching this madness in the back there? What we been doing?
I have been thoroughly entertained. I just love it.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, welcome. We have, I mean, what an honor it is. What an honor it is to have such an amazing contributor to the creative community.
Yeah, let's introduce you to everybody. You know CJ Flash.
Okay.
CJ's the reason why you're here.
That's
Thank you
my
again,
buddy. That's
CJ.
my buddy.
All right, but say hello to CJ's buddy, Russell Gatewood. That's the two guys there do the world famous, play music all around the Bay Area and around the world for that matter, for well over 25 years.
He's the one with the head.
With the locks, with the long and flowing
We had
locks.
just gotten to put it down, and then you act like you don't see it. Act like you don't see it.
Okay.
Tracy Anderson is in the middle there with the beautiful head wrap, the Queen
Hi,
Latifah wrap
Tracy.
there.
Hi, nice to meet you, beautiful.
And then Ryan
Pleasure's
Nicole
mine.
is in the left-hand corner on my screen.
Ryan
She's
Nicole.
an
What's
artist, an author, an athlete, an activist, all kinds of things. And I'm Jerry Dove. You know me a little bit now. So tell us really
G-Dub.
quickly, because what we'll do G-Dub, that's right. We're going to talk about the women of funk.
Zelda.
We're going to pick out a lot of folks that you like, and you're going to tell us what you know about them and tell us some inside stories about working with Graham Central Station. And did we see a picture of you and Mick Jagger?
Yes.
Wow. Why don't we start with that story?
So just let me know when you want me to start. I don't, because
I want you to
once I get
start with
started,
that
I'm hard to
story.
Stop. So
Okay.
start with that
I
story.
want you to start with Mick
Okay,
Jagger.
so that was the Warner Brothers music show. Warner Brothers sent all their artists out on a tour, and it was Warner Brothers. I mean, it was Graham Central Station, the Doobie Brothers, Tower of Power, Montrose, Little Feat, and so we did this one show in London. And everybody came out. Mick came out, Rod Stewart came out, everybody came out that was in town. They came out. So that picture is after the show is over with. And Mick has his arm around me and we're taking a picture. I'm smiling. And that's Robert Butch Sam in back of me. He played the keyboards.
Robert
the
Butch.
organ.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Nice.
tell us, a little bit about how you got going and what are your Bay Area? You're from LA, right? But you got the Bay Area roots because of Graham Central Station. But go ahead and just tell us a little bit about you and your life, and then we'll get going playing some music and hear what you got to say about that too.
Okay. Well, actually, I was born in Texas. East Texas to be exact. And I was raised in Los Angeles, but then I moved to the Bay Area when Larry and I hooked up. So let me see, where should I start to make a long story short? So I sang all my life. My father was a preacher. So I've been singing ever since I was like 3 years old. I think I made my debut in the Easter service, the Easter program. I did Yes, Jesus Loves Me. And so that was the beginning because of the reaction of the congregation. Like I was sold. Everybody was looking at me and smiling and clapping their hands and happy. And so whatever that was, I figured out that I needed to keep doing what I was doing so that I could continue, to get that kind of reaction. So that's when I first started singing. So all through school I sang. I probably wouldn't have made it through school had it not been for music, because that was the reason I was going to school, was to go to choir, to go to orchestra, to go to, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I made it through school. And so when I was in the 12th grade, when I was a senior, a manager from a group called the Doodletown Pipers came to my school, which is Dorsey's High School, by the way. Dorsey High School, Dorsey Downers. Came to LA to my school and held auditions for their group. So I made the auditions. So I joined the group, the Doodletown Pipers. That was my first professional gig where I was actually getting paid like every week. So I went out on the road with them. We played a lot in Vegas. So we were playing in Vegas, and speaking of Mary Wilson, by the way, I don't know if we touched on her or not, but anyway, we were in Vegas and we were, the Supremes came to our show because there was nothing else to do. I guess they had finished their show. We were on late. They came to our show, and their road manager at the time was Dick Griffey. So after we did our show, the Doodletown Pipers, Dick approached me and said that it was something about me that he saw. Now, mind you, it was 16 people, only 5 blacks. So it was something about me. And he told me, if I ever decide to leave the Doodletown Pipers, to give him a call. And so he gave me his card. So about a year later, and the Supremes were there, and we partied with them that night too, by the way. After the show was over, we went over to the Caesar's Palace and partied with them. So about a year later, I did quit. I did call him. He did become my manager. And he was also a promoter. So he was promoting a show in LA at the Forum. And the show was The Little Rascals, and Sly and the Family Stone was the special guest. So I begged him to please let my group, which was the New Perspectives, please let us open the show, because I was a Sly and the Family Stone fanatic. And so he did. My group, we opened the show. I met, after the show was over, backstage, I met the Sly and the Family Stone, Larry in particular, because he was the one I was in love with, just from hearing his voice on the radio and seeing him on the album covers and stuff. And so I met him. And so that night, he asked me to come to an after party. And I didn't go to the after party because I came to the function with Dick. Dick was my manager, and I came to the function with him. I didn't go. So, but I gave him my number. He gave me his. So we hooked up after that, shortly after that. This whole story is in my book, Deja Vu. But we hooked up shortly after that. And then about 8 months later, I moved to Oakland with him. And so that was the beginning of, I went on the road with Sly and the Family Stone for about a year and a half, maybe. And then when Larry quit Sly and the Family Stone, he was producing my group, which was called Hot Choc'Let at the time. So when he left Sly and the Family Stone, he joined Hot Choc'Let, and it became Graham Central Station.
Okay, let's hold on.
That's how that went.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. Let's see. We got parties we got to talk about. We got partying we got to talk about. We got Larry Graham hookups we got to talk about. How old were you when all this was going on, first and foremost, you know?
I was like right out of high school. Okay, I don't do well with numbers and years and ages. I forget, especially when somebody asks me how old I am.
I didn't ask you that.
I'm just saying, I'm just telling you, just in case.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. The Doodletown Pipers.
Yes.
What was that about? What did that mean? What was that name?
The Doodletown Pipers was a organization. It was an all-American apple pie, type group. Our rivals was a group called the Young Americans. And so it was 16 of us. 5 of us were Black, like I said, and we did we did some spots on. I almost can't get this out of my mouth, but we did some spots on Ed Sullivan. And we did so many things, but the gist of it is they were like this all-American, like supposedly like portraying what it was to be, a young American in the United States. That's what our group was supposed to look like when you looked at us. Right. And so it was fun because it was my first professional gig, and it was my first time traveling around the world, around the United States at that time, not the world, but all over the United States, and doing major TV, and like starting to get my chops up.
Well, it sounds like the Doodletown Pipers.
Every song that we did, the Doodletown Pipers, and every song we did, it ended with "yeah."
I was going to say it sounded like the Alphabet Rockers, but I don't think y'all do like that. Do you, Ryan?
No rock at all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's stop you right there. Let's play a little music because we're definitely going to get into Graham Central Station and Sly and a lot of your musical things. But I know that you're going to tell us a little bit about women and funk. So, CJ, you got something to get this conversation going?
I do, and I need to start it off appropriately.
Yeah.
All right, Choc'Let. You sounding pretty good on that one. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Russell, what you know about that song right there, Russell? Since we were talking about your hair before the show started.
Obviously, that's my theme song. Hair, that's my theme song.
Quite clearly.
I was a big Graham Central Station fan, a bigger Graham Central Station fan than I was a Sly fan as a kid. But my introduction, oddly enough, was not the music; it was the a cappella songs. It was the a cappella songs.
We've been waiting.
Exactly. That's the one that had me going. That had me. I said, "Who is this?" And then I discovered the music, and then I went back and discovered the whole Sly Stone stuff because I was just a little kid. So I'm a big fan, big fan of the group.
Ryan, what you remember about that song?
That in particular, I mean, there's a couple things. We just had a conversation that I want you to get into, Miss Choc'Let, about the origins of that song and the idea of that song. But also, I got introduced to Graham Central Station through Prince. Saw you guys open for a Prince concert and didn't realize I knew the music in retrospect. But a drummer of yours, Brian Brazil, is a friend of mine and a high school buddy. And really got connected to Graham Central Station in that way. And then kind of did a retrospective and was like, oh, I know this music. I didn't know this was, this band, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Choc'Let, what do you remember about that song?
The hair part, right?
Yeah.
Please tell me about this hair thing.
I was sharing that, the lyrics of that song came about from a true story because people used to ask us all the time about whether or not it was our hair because of the fact that, especially the guys, everybody back in those times in the 70s, wore wigs. The guys all wore wigs. The straight wigs that they thought the straight wigs that brothers thought were perms were not perms, they were wigs. And then the naturals, Billy Preston, all of them used to have those big natural wigs on. So asking, is that really all your hair, was, because of all the hair that these brothers had on their heads that were not theirs. No.
The Jackson 5 too?
No, not the Jackson 5, but the Jackson 5 came later.
Okay, but we had a conversation about that a week or two ago about was that really everybody's afros and everything like that, because there was a lot of hair, and I had a little afro myself back in the day, and it was hard enough with what I had, and I should say more like this. It was hard enough with that, so I can't even imagine having these big things that come down your shoulders and all like that. So
see, that's so funny because
I think they did. I think that was the Jackson 5's hair.
It was their hair. It was their hair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was. But they came after us. This was way before then,
yeah.
And all the funk groups.
But Jermaine needs a wig.
Like in the.
What is that he's wearing now? He's wearing a helmet.
It's like a helmet. He's like the Lord helmet.
Oh,
Tracy's down with you.
So like Choc'Let, if you got an extra one of those wigs, can you send one down the coast to Jermaine?
Don't even answer.
I'm gonna put your name on it.
Please do.
But that was a dynamic, with all the cool clothes and everything, all the bell bottoms and the platforms and the apple caps and all that. The wigs came with all that. But it was all part of a look. It was all part of a lifestyle. That's that's the way you had to roll. Everybody couldn't grow those great big old afros that moved. You know what I'm saying? Every time you moved your head, everybody couldn't grow those. So what you did, you went and got a wig.
See now,
making me
people know.
Eyes water.
You let the people know. I love it because if I ask my uncles and them and all of them folks, they'll tell me it was their hair. And now I know the truth. I know the truth. Choc'Let told me the truth.
Well, she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right, because I had an afro that when they put a baseball cap on, it left that whole dent right there.
Yes.
For like a week, for like 3 days. I was trying to, and it just wouldn't come back. But Tommy Moon, who we all know, he's a friend of ours, he had one of them afros where he put a football helmet on and take it off with spring right back into place.
Right.
Some people are just lucky like that,
That's that good
the
4A hair.
Afro.
The Gene Washington
can be so unfair.
Listen,
that's right.
You had too much Indian in your family, huh, Jerry? It wouldn't bounce back.
Indian, huh? Wait,
I'm
what?
just never mind.
I'm writing that down.
That went
yeah.
right over his afro right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna research that one later.
He missed that whole joke.
Okay.
He's gonna
CJ, get
text you
another.
about 3:00 in the morning. I get it.
I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake every one of you up about it too. So
No, thank you. It's
CJ,
okay.
give us another song, CJ.
CJ help us.
I've been being here with you. Yeah, I said, all right. Cause your love is a precious treasure me. Only you can bring me joy and pleasure me. Always there. Always there. Oh, Lord, yeah.
Side effect, always there. Now, what you know about that song, Choc'Let? How's that? What's the story for that one?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me go back to a Doodletown.
I like the hand wave.
Right
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Augie Johnson was in the Doodletown Pipers with me, and Augie, that's his group, Side Effect.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was in the Doodletown Pipers with me. Also, Jim Gilstrap was in the Doodletown Pipers with me. Jim Gilstrap, I don't know if everybody knows about Jimmy, but Jimmy. Yeah. Okay, well, he's for those who don't know,
I don't know. Break it down.
Okay, well, he sang with Stevie for a long time. And so Jimmy's voice is the voice that starts out the song, You Are the Sunshine of My Life. That's Jimmy.
Yes,
singing.
yes.
Yes.
And Jimmy also sang the theme song to Good Times. That's Jimmy. Jimmy was the supreme session singer. If you have albums, any album you look on the back of for like maybe about 15 years, you'll see Jimmy's name on it because he was doing the sessions. He did all the sessions. Wow. So Jimmy was on there. And also this sister whose place I took, but I met her briefly. Her name was Teresa Graves. She was also in the Doodletown Pipers. Teresa Graves, I think, was the first black woman that had her own series. It was called Get Christy Love.
Yeah.
She was a detective. She was Get Christy Love. So she came from the Doodletown Pipers. So don't y'all be.
You know what?
Pipers got some good alumni. You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta ask.
You gotta put some respect on a doodle.
Okay.
Put some respect on a doodle time. You feel me? Back on it. No, I have a question though, for real. What kind of platform did they provide that allowed so many people to transition into other groups? Like, what was the learning that you had there that got you to move on? All of you.
Well, it wasn't so much what they provided. I think the main thing was the experience. And like I said, we did some very big TV shows and stuff. So that gave us experience doing those long drawn out TV specials and stuff. And so I think that's basically what it was. I think this was all of our first real professional gigs where we were really getting paid, even though we weren't getting paid what we should have, but we were still getting paid. And so I think that, that it was just served as being like that first real professional gig that, you cut your teeth, basically is what that was. And learning how to also get along with, a group of people, a large group of people, and all that came with that, and working with managers and stuff that you had to consistently watch. You know what I'm saying? That was a big lesson right there.
I definitely want to ask you
to watch my back.
You touched on something just then in terms of equal pay, for artists back then. You seem to handle it so gracefully, but is there anything any advice that you would give to newer artists today that, from lessons that you learned from, pretty much paving the way for all of them?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, and it's hard for me to believe sometimes that artists today are still having the same problems that, have been going on forever, as far as mismanagement, as far as being ripped off, as far as not knowing the business and not knowing what's in your contracts and stuff, is not as bad as it used to be, because the younger ones are going ahead, and some of them are learning the business, and that's why they're making mega millions, but there are still some out there that are still getting ripped off. So I would just say, just take your time. I know we want everything instantly in these days and times. That's how this generation is. They got to have everything like right away. But take your time and learn something about the business. Still, you can still learn something about the business, because basically it's the same. Basically, the contracts are the same, believe it or not. It's the same. So what you got to do is learn the business, and then find a professional that you can trust to go to, and handle your legal affairs. And basically that's it. It's just, you would think that they would know that by now, but some of them still don't know that.
True.
I would think that before you buy a car, you want to get a good lawyer.
A car?
Before you buy a car, get a good lawyer.
Yeah, right.
Right?
As an artist.
I see what you're saying. Right. When I bought my car, I didn't have a lawyer. Man.
Right. I got a bum deal.
I got it.
Let me start all over what I said.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, now, before you start spending money,
got
get somebody to help you handle your money that you
before
can trust.
Put a $24 million diamond in your forehead, get an attorney.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Okay. Got it.
So she's referencing the rapper.
No.
No,
you have a diamond chocolate? I'm sorry.
Yes, I do.
No. She was talking about this.
No.
See,
it's beautiful.
It looks good.
She was talking about a rapper. What's his name?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Little
that
Uzi
just goes to
Vert.
show how much I know.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Lil Uzi Vert saved up his money and put $16 million down so he could get a real ruby diamond embedded in his forehead. And that's what's happening right now. He's still paying on it. Bless his heart is right.
Bless his heart. See,
yeah,
payments.
So all I'm saying is, before you do that, get somebody that you trust, that's a money person that can counsel you to say, maybe you shouldn't do that just yet.
I'm sure they did, but he ignored it.
Or ever.
What is that? You making payments on your forehead. What is that?
That's the way you carry around your debt.
Boom.
And to everyone that just heard the jewels that were dropped by our exquisite guest, listen to the wisdom and apply it. Listen, apply. You have to do both. Little Uzi Vert didn't do that.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
So Helen Baylor, right? Always there. Okay, Helen Baylor, she was in Augie's group, Side Effect. And I love her voice. When CJ and I talked about it, he said, okay, women of funk. So these are the women that I admire and that I love their voices. Almost every one of them have this voice to me that appeals to me, that sounds like they drink dark liquor. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of voices. Got that rasp in their voices and stuff. But Helen Baylor her voice was so funky, and she went on to be a very successful gospel artist.
I wonder if she drank liquor.
Dark liquor.
Yeah.
She probably did back, in the Side Effect days. She probably did. I know she probably did.
You had to get saved from something. Listen,
And you gotta have community.
But her voice,
you gotta have a little community.
Her voice is just, I just love her voice.
Yes,
So Helen Baylor.
I like that. that.
Yes.
And Mickey Howard was part of Side Effect after that too, right?
Yes, she came later. Yes, she came a couple of girls later.
Wow.
I like Side Effect a lot. I talked about an album they did called Going Bananas, and the vinyl was yellow.
Yeah.
It was yellow.
Yeah,
I wish I held on to that. I don't know who I gave that one to, but I wish I held on to that one.
Fantasy Records.
Russell, you got that?
They had a young lady in there then. I believe her name was Sylvia.
Okay.
Sylvia
So
St.
listen.
James. I think that's who was in there.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to take a half a second now to do one of our segments. If you will stay with us, Choc'Let, there are going to be some things you're going to want to hear. And we're going to hear the entertainment news from the lovely lady that's in the middle with the I shouldn't even say it because it's going to get somebody
No,
going.
don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it because it's going to trigger somebody. But we'll just, thank you, Rod. Thank you for that. We're just going to say entertainment news with Tracy Anderson. Go, Tracy.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, this week has been both good and bad news. Jerry, did you want me to speak to this at this time, or you want me to wait?
Why don't we save that for last, and then I'll go right into CJ's thing after I'm done. Okay. How about
that sounds good. Okay, one of the first things that we'll talk about then is Apollo Theater signs with UTA. So talent and entertainment company UTA has signed one of the most iconic music venues in the world, Harlem's Apollo Theater, in all areas. According to the announcement, UTA will help expand the 87-year-old theater's cultural influence, representation, and programming across TV, film, podcasts, publishing, and events through its intellectual properties. The Apollo Theater is legendary in terms of who they've hosted on their stage for generations, such as Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, to Michael Jackson, D'Angelo, and our own Bay Area favorite, Her. So we wish the Apollo Theater much luck with this new association with UTA. And hopefully they will get, I think the spotlight that they really deserve. I think they've made efforts, in the television arena in different areas, but I think that there's more for them to tell. Don't you guys agree?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Totally. Great.
So we have a peek into the Oscars, right? And this is rare. So songs from Black songs from Black films dominate as Oscar music shortlists are released. The shortlist for the Academy Awards, 2 music categories are out. Nearly half of the 15 songs on that list emerged from narrative films or documentaries whose cast or subjects are prominently Black. Now that is a Selah moment, because for so often, the Academy Awards, no shade and respectfully, has kind of snubbed the African American creative community. So this is amazing to see all of these beautiful names. So Janelle Monáe, she has a song called Turntables, which is included, and that is from All In. And shout out to Russ, because we all had the opportunity to go see that movie. And then Mary J. Blige's song called See What You've Done, from a movie called Belly of the Beast, a documentary. John Legend's Never Break. So we are excited about John Legend. Leslie Odom Jr. Speak Now, from One Night in Miami. Yes. And then the Bay Area's own, Vallejo's own, Her, Fight for You. And that's from the upcoming movie Judas and the Black Messiah. And Russell, that's coming out this Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. And then Celeste, Hear My Voice. And that's from the Trial of the Chicago 7. They all made it. So this is just a preliminary, list, obviously, but we want to celebrate all of that beautiful melanin that is included.
Bravo.
Yes.
Robert Kelly. Robert.
Oh, the Robert.
Oh, Robert. Yeah, but he's gotten a little grace because the singer had been scheduled to go on trial April 7th. On racketeering charges, but it's going to be delayed due to concerns for COVID. So God is yet helping him out. I'm sure he needed whatever little time he could to, get his legal team together. But Kelly is being held at the Chicago Metropolitan Correctional Center and is awaiting trial on numerous charges. Somebody say numerous.
Numerous
charges, including including sexual misconduct charges and racketeering in 3 states, not just Chicago, 3 states. So keep him in your prayers, you guys. And that's all we're going to say about Robert right along through now. In other areas of entertainment news, we definitely are saddened to learn of the passing of the beautiful Mary Wilson, of the mega group, the Motown mega group, the Supremes. And And as it was written yesterday, vocalist Mary Wilson, who co-founded the Supremes as a 15-year-old in Detroit housing project, stayed with the fabled hit-making Motown Records until the dissolution in 1977. She passed away on Monday in her home in Las Vegas, and she was 76 years old. Did you want to speak with that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you can see there's a picture of me there in the bottom corner years ago when I was at KISS FM. Miss Wilson came in one morning to talk with me and Renelle. Well, to talk with Renelle, I brought her in. Let's be honest. And so I stayed in there, and Renelle and I were being very respectful. And I remember it must have been like in the 7 o'clock hour. And it was quiet, and Renelle was doing the interview, and it was just kind of like, question and answer. We went to a commercial. Mary Wilson looked at me and Renelle said, "Do you guys know who I am?" And we said,
Wow.
"Yes, of course." She said, well, then act like it, darling. Act like it. So at that point, we started showering her with love. We were trying to be respectful, but she just wanted to hang and be with her folks and just have some fun. And so after that, we just relaxed, and she was great. So that's definitely one of the highlights of my life is meeting Mary Wilson. So God bless her.
So her longtime publicist, Jay Swartz, reported that she died suddenly. The circumstances of her death were not immediately revealed. Funeral services will be private because of COVID, he said. And which is so sad, because someone like her should be celebrated on such a level. And not only her, but other major icons that we've lost in recent months. And so, our prayers go out to her and her family, all of her fans globally, and all of her label mates.
Fantastic. That's entertainment news. And I know, CJ, you had something you want to add to this too?
Yeah, let me add a little something to it.
Go for it.
Looking back on your career, is there anything you would have changed or done differently? Knowing what you know now?
Sure, a lot of things I would have done differently. But still, I can tell you one thing. I've had the best life that anyone can have. If I had not been a Supreme, I would have wanted to have been a Supreme. I would have wanted to be Mary Wilson. Okay, I'm serious. But yeah, we started. Diane Flo and I started singing in 1959, and we were like 13 years old. We signed with Motown when we were 16. We had our first hit record when we were about 19 years old. So it was wonderful. But we worked very hard. In fact, I guess if you say Supremes, you can also say records, but you could also say glamour. So I have my new book. I've written 3 books. Well, this is my 3rd book. Okay. Well, this is my third. Anyway, so it's called Supreme Glamour, and it's about the gowns.
But some of those looks are so iconic.
Yes.
So that's available now?
It's coming out soon.
Okay,
they can go on Amazon and all those kind of places to find it. I do want to bring one thing up that's very important to me, and that's it's called the Modernization Act. It's an act that I helped with a lot of other artists. We helped get passed. Our president signed it. So it's definitely in the law now.
That's great.
And it has to do with artists being paid properly when their music is being played on the radio digitally.
That's so important.
Yes.
I'm so glad you did that, because I know a lot of artists had an issue with that.
Yeah.
You've got your hand in everything, and we love you. What an honor to have you on the show.
Just listen to the words of her favorite song.
I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. But I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you got.
Wow.
Wow. See, that's like everybody's fancy auntie right there. That's Miss Mary Wilson.
Yes.
God bless you. Rest in peace. You were a legend. You will always be a legend. I'm sorry.
Lord help us.
I'm trying to say something serious, and God bless you, Mary Wilson.
Yes, God bless Mary Wilson.
Back to the show. We
Sorry.
are here at IRTS Live. We are talking with Choc'Let, that voice that you hear with Graham Central Station. She's also played the electric funk box. Let's get back to the show and pretend like you don't see what Russell's wearing. Okay, just stay with me. Shh. So Choc'Let.
Why?
I'm sorry, Choc'Let, first and foremost. We're sorry. But tell us about that electric funk box. What's that?
Okay, well, it's a funk box, and what it is it's a Rhythm King. I think it was one of the first drum machines that was ever utilized, and so I think Sly used it on some of his earlier stuff, the Rhythm King, and so when the group got started, everybody was playing an instrument and everybody was, funking and grooving, and all I had was the tambourine, and I'm like, I told Larry, look. I want to play something. I don't want to just be standing up hitting on this tambourine. I want to be a musician too. So we need to find something for me to play. So luckily, the funk box, you could play it. It could be either set on automatic settings or it could be played manually by pushing buttons. And so that's what I did. That was my instrument. And it was the funk box, and that's what I played.
Wow.
Nice,
Wow. That's like the
nice.
MPC, yeah, which is a drum machine right now. That's pretty tight. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Erica Badu follows in your shoes. She
Yeah,
plays
well,
the
Erica
MPC.
Badu, yeah, she does, and she's a Grand Central Station fan too. I remember
Fact.
going to a gig of hers, and she played the jam, so she's a Grand Central Station
Yes, she is.
fan. So yeah, she's doing what I did. How many years ago? A lot of years ago. But
I
I'm
love
glad,
it. I love it. No,
I'm
lay the
glad,
foundation.
she's
I love that you laid the
exactly.
foundation.
She's continuing.
Yeah, I could definitely
So
see
that's
her as
what
a
the
fan of
funk,
Grand
it's
Central
the
Station.
FUNK box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. All right.
Say it again.
hey.
And on the funk box, my name is CHOCLET.
Nice.
Playing
Look
right
at you.
now. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
was
See,
playing
that just
a
again just
solo.
makes me tell you thank you for being here, because just for that moment alone, thank you for being here. That was great, man. So
Yes.
so
So much fun.
how much did a band like that rehearse? Because you guys were so good and you're all just experts, and just how much did you rehearse to get to that sound?
We rehearsed all the time. I want to shout out Zelda Norwood, by the way. I
Yes,
see it
Zelda.
as Zelda's Captain Z. Yeah, I want to shout her out, my friend. But we rehearsed all the time. When Larry had a room in the house dubbed the music room, so we were rehearsing there. But it started getting too loud. People started calling the police, so we had to move to Berkeley, and we rehearsed so much until it was funny because we started dressing up. It was like we were going to the gigs. We would dress up to go to the rehearsals, and then people would come to the rehearsals. They'd be dressed up. It was like it was except nobody was paying. You know what I'm saying? But it was our rehearsals turned into an event, and we rehearsed constantly to the point where when we finally did go out on the road, everything came second nature. We didn't even have to, you don't even have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you rehearsed
Right.
it so much until it just becomes second nature. So, and I like to rehearse that way. I'm a perfectionist. And so you can't rehearse too much for me. So that was the most exciting part for me, was the rehearsals, because I like to get it right.
That's so great.
Mhm.
That's so great. I
Mhm.
play with a group. Well, not anymore. Since COVID, but we always talk about the necessity and the importance of rehearsals, and being so keyed in and so locked in with your group that you could get up on stage, and if anything happened, you could still jam. You could still party
Right.
out, or you could improvise if you needed
Right.
to. Yeah.
Right.
You're so well
And
rehearsed.
another thing about being so well rehearsed and having the music just ingrained in your soul is that after I hadn't been with Grand Central Station for many years, we got back together for a reunion tour. And the first day of rehearsal, and I'm not kidding, the first day of rehearsal in Oakland, we started playing those songs, and we hadn't played together in a good 20 years. But
Wow.
that first day of rehearsal, those first notes we hit, it all came back. We hit those songs like we had done them, like the day before. You know what I'm saying? That's
Wow.
that, and it just came so, it was so organic and it was so natural. Until so that's what rehearsing will do for you. It will become a part of your DNA almost.
It's so important.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely came through on your record. I remember I had a Graham Central Station album called Mirror, was the title of it, Mirror?
Right.
But it had like a little, I don't know what it was on the front of it, but it looked like a mirror on the front of it. And I kept that album nice and clean for years and then got all scriggling up and everything like that. But you guys made some great music and you could tell that you were true musicians and you could tell that you loved what you were doing and just having fun.
Right.
Just having fun.
Exactly.
Just making that funk.
Because funk is fun with a K. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah.
It'll do that to you. It'll do that to you. It'll take you into another whole zone. You don't even know where you are, but you know that you're having a good time and you're feeling it to your core. That if funk is not doing that for you, then something is wrong with you or the funk.
Hello.
So what do you say to
Yeah,
what do you say to
something's wrong.
somebody? What do you say to somebody who swears that they're doing funk music, but you're looking at them like, no, kid, that ain't no. I'm sorry. Did you say who? Did you say?
Sorry, I had a cough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but people who think they're doing funk, but like no.
I understand.
God bless you, baby. Like you said.
These days, there's a lot of things that people are labeling funk that have nothing to do at all whatsoever with funk. Especially in the summertime, here in the Southern California, a lot of festivals and stuff go on in the summertime. And they love to put that word funk up on these festivals, right? And you go to these festivals and there's no funk to be found. You know what I'm saying? So I was worried about funk for a while. I'm like, man, what is getting ready to happen to this music? But there still are some that are authentic enough and want to know enough about the music to study and pick up a real instrument and play. And so, there's still hope. But no, I do not like the way funk is used and misused and abused, so many times.
So are there anybody that you admire, any artists that are out here doing it now, and who were some of the people that you admired in terms of your peers when you guys were first on the scene?
Okay, well, right now there are a few that I can think of that I have hopes for. But where is D'Angelo? He's one of them. Can somebody tell me where D'Angelo is?
Oh no,
he's on Instagram, Chad. He's on Instagram.
I had big high hopes for him. That brother, he was, I had high hopes for him. And then Fantasia. I love her voice, but she doesn't exactly do funk music, but what she does do, it does represent, so that's about it for right now.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that right now.
So
I agree with D'Angelo.
When we were doing, yes, Lord. So, but when we were out there, I was an avid Sly and the Family Stone fan, To me, they represent funk music. They are what funk is all about. And so while we were out there, George was also out there. So yeah, you got your two camps. You got your, you got your camp that, the Sly and the Family Stone camp, and you got your P-Funk camp. So, and George, of course, he represents a huge faction of funk, but that is not all there is to funk. And in these days and times, I'm also finding that especially younger people, they think that funk begins and ends with George Clinton. I'm glad George is out there because he is representing a faction of it, but he does not represent the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but I am glad that he is out there and he's doing it and keeping the funk alive. So back in the day, there wasn't very many funk groups out there when Graham Central Station was out there. Not many funk groups, but there were groups, but not many funk groups. And I'm all about the funk.
I hear it.
Is this Chaka Khan in this picture with you? Is that
Okay,
Choc'Let?
yeah, you do. Yeah, that's Shaka. That's a chocolate hug. So after I left Grand Central Station, and I was trying to pursue a record deal, I was doing side gigs, right? And so working with Shaka was one of them, and that was fun. That was a fun
Nice.
gig.
Nice.
Now I know you also toured with or worked with Stephanie Mills
Work with
and
Stephanie Mills, yes.
B.B. King, Betty Davis.
B.B. King, yep, did an album with Betty Davis.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
Went on the
Chocolate.
road with B.B. King.
Mhm.
Which
You know,
Betty
just
Davis
trying to
record
keep.
did you do?
Say that again.
Which Betty Davis record did you do?
Okay, so I did her whole first album. It was called Betty
Okay.
Davis, and what happened was Greg Rico, who was the drummer for Sly and the Family Stone, he produced her first album. So she told him to just, call everybody and get all the musicians. So Greg just called everybody he knew. He called Grand Central Station. We came in. He calls Summer Santana. They came in. The Tower Power. They came in. So Grand Central Station is represented on that whole album. I'm doing quite a few vocals, and we're doing all the music.
Wow.
And it is
Yeah,
funky. That
It
album
is
is a
yeah,
funky.
funky album.
it is nasty funk. It is.
Mhm.
I love Betty Davis stuff.
Before y'all go any further, please let me play a
Mhm.
little bit of that.
Please, brother.
Go ahead there, CJ.
Are you climbing? Is it nice up there? Do you wanna leave? I said, do you wanna leave? We don't wanna leave. Nice up there. We don't wanna leave.
Hey Jerry, I gotta tell you a story about this right here. This is
Okay.
for you. Okay.
Okay.
I went to see Prince in one of those private, late night club shows in San Francisco.
Mhm.
And he had the band that at that time was Third Eye Girl.
Mhm.
And he went into a Betty Davis song, and he just told those girls because they couldn't keep up. He just told them to stop. He just told them to stop, and he just turned and looked at him. He just pointed his head like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna be rehearsing all night tonight, y'all." He just went into Betty, and people in the audience didn't know who it was. I'm sitting there like, "Oh my God, no, he's not doing this." And then he didn't really even get to go into it because they were like,
Well, I bet that's
Betty
amazing
Davis was awesome.
Yeah. There's a great documentary that Russell, you told me about, that's on Betty Davis. It's on HBO or it's on demand somewhere, but you got to check it out. It's a fantastic thing.
Netflix somewhere. Yeah, I saw it.
Now I see you also spent a little time as the lead singer for Rolls Royce. Did not know that.
I did.
Yeah.
Like around in like around in the 90s, in the early 90s, I joined them. You want to hear that story? That's a story.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah, roll up the sleeves.
Hold on. She rolled up the sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
So, in the interim of trying to, I had already got my record deal, didn't go quite like I wanted to go, but you got to keep on gigging, you got to go where the money is. And so at a certain period of time, I was doing these gigs called casuals, and casuals were gigs for big corporations and private parties and the Grammys after parties and blah, 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 those kinds of gigs. So I was doing those. So I met this young lady on a casual, and she said that she was going to call me to do some session work, and I said okay, that would be great. So I gave her my number. So wasn't really expecting her to call me, but she did call me. And the session, she said, it's a rapper, it's a rapper, he's doing a album on a flute player, and the studio is out in Compton. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me the address, and I met her out there, went to Compton and to the studio and walked in there. And so it was this brother that was in there that was the producer, and they introduced me to him as Dre. His name was, they call him Dr. Dre. I had no clue. I didn't know who Dr. Dre was. I just knew he was the producer, and he was going to be the one that was paying me. That's what I knew. Those two things.
First things first.
He said, "Where the money reside? Where the money reside?"
Right. So, and the session was for this guy named Jimmy Z, who played the flute, and he played funky flute. Dre was putting some funk on this stuff, and it sounded really, really good. So I was doing the sessions, I was doing some background vocals, throwing the funk on the stuff. And so while I was doing the session, these two guys walked in, and so Dre stopped the session. And I'm like, why are you stopping the session? You know what I'm saying? Because I was in Compton. I was a little nervous. I was trying to hurry up and get through before it got dark. You know what I'm saying? So I could go home. So he called a break. And during the break, I met these two guys. And they were Kenny Copeland and Henry Garner from Rolls Royce. And so I met them. It was nice meeting them. So nice to meet you guys. Are you guys staying or are you leaving, or what you guys gonna do?
What it's gonna be.
So they stayed a little while, and they listened to me sing a little while, and so then they left. And Kenny Copeland, who was the leader of Rolls Royce, left his number and asked Dre to give me his number and asked me to call him. So I did. And that's how I hooked up with Rolls Royce. Kenny liked what he heard, and that's how I hooked up with Rolls Royce. And that was a very, very fruitful collaboration, because that was the first time I had a chance to actually be the lead. You know what I'm saying? Because in Grand Central Station, I could only sing when Larry would let me. But in Rolls Royce, all their hits, the woman sang. So this gave me a chance to level up on my approach, you know what I'm saying, and on my, do something different with my chops. And so I was really, really happy to be in Rolls Royce, and that was a great experience. And I sang with them for about 5 years. And then Larry wanted to do a reunion tour. So he called me and asked me would I would be interested in doing a reunion tour. It was like, heck yeah, I'm there. I am there. So then I called Kenny and told him, look, Kenny, I'm getting ready to go do this reunion tour with Grand Central Station. And so Rolls Royce had gigs coming up. And so Kenny didn't like that very much. And so after I came off the tour, because I was not missing that tour. After I came off the tour, that was pretty much it for me and Rolls Royce. But you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah.
There's some great songs, and some probably had some great audiences, because they have songs that people love to hear too. So that's probably was a lot of fun.
Oh man, that was a wonderful gig. With Rolls Royce, they just had hit after hit after hit, and as soon as the first 3 notes were played, people started screaming and hollering. It was really an easy gig, because they knew all the songs.
Yeah, wow.
The audience, they knew all the songs.
You started out and then you give it to them?
Right.
Yes.
I have a question for you. So whenever they do your biopic, whenever they do a biopic on the group or yourself, who would you want to play you?
Well, I would want my daughter Unique to play me.
There you go.
Unique looks just like me. Me, and she can sing. So I would pick her.
There it is.
I don't know who else in these days and times that I would pick. Because the funk music, you have to have a certain flavor. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a certain flavor, and that flavor is kind of, in my opinion, kind of missing right now. So Unique grew up with the funk. So she grew up listening to me. So I think she would be the closest one. I'm gonna throw her out there. I'm just gonna throw her out there.
That's what's up. Is Unique? Is she performing now? Is she singing? She do music at all?
She does sing. Yes, she does sing. She does do music. She's been doing music all her life. But COVID shut everything down. So right now she's just being a mother to my two grand nuggets. I have two grand nuggets, a boy and a girl.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love
and my grandson, he's 16 and he sounds like, and I'm not exaggerating, you can go find him on YouTube. He sounds like Teddy Pendergrass.
What?
Wow.
At
Turn
16?
them all faces.
At 16?
I'm like 16.
At 16.
Wow.
But he's been singing. He's been singing ever since he was like 5. So the boy can sing. He can sing.
What is his name so we can look him up?
His name is Jai. His name is Jai Banks Chambers.
I can hear it now.
Yep.
I love it. Listen,
we're,
there aren't enough.
Trying to keep it, we're trying to keep it going.
I love it. I love it. We need more young men sounding more mannish. So I'm here for it.
Yeah,
you know?
he has an old soul. He has an old soul, and he listens to Howlin' Wolf. He goes all the way back. He loves Sam Cooke. You know what I'm saying? So he incorporates all that. Sings gospel. You got to hear him sing "I Won't Complain."
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, so,
listen.
So, young lady, can you drop that name one more time so everybody can look it up?
I'm sorry.
Jai Banks Chambers.
Is that J-A-I or how do you spell it?
Instagram. J-A-I.
Okay.
Banks Chambers.
Jerry's gonna look him up on the Book of Faces.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, he has an Instagram. He has an Instagram.
That's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the Insta.
Okay.
Well, looking forward to that. Hey, so look, we're gonna switch over to CJ real quick because he's got what we call the video of the week, the IRTV. CJ, go.
And this week's poll is straight from the Midnight Special.
Your soul. Together we shall inherit this earth. But
Wow, look at the confidence on that young lady. That young lady there was in charge.
The baddest group from East to West.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yes.
I picked
That's
that
amazing.
It spoke to the amount of rehearsal that you talked about. There is no way that they could have been that polished without rehearsal. and it was just polished. And there's some stuff before that because they started off with Hair, and then the transition from Hair, or the bridge of Hair, going into Tis Your Kind of Music was just incredible. And I have to ask you, Choc'Let, did you guys edit that just for Midnight Special? Because I know that they do excerpts, or was it a straight concert?
It was a straight concert.
Okay.
If it was edited, somebody else did it, but it was just a straight concert.
No, but I mean, did you guys in rehearsal, did you say, okay, this transition is necessary because we have this much of a segment? Or was that
yeah. When you only have so much time, you have to rearrange. So
right.
we did arrangements according to the time we had, because we were trying to fit as much funk in there as we possibly could.
Got it in there.
It was just oozing.
So we would have to do arrangements.
Yeah.
You look so confident, and just like on it with all that funk behind you and all them men behind you, but you were running that thing.
So effortless.
And then my question.
You know what? Okay, go ahead.
No. Please, your statement. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, back in those days, there weren't very many women in the funk genre, hardly at all. I think it was me. I think it was Shaka. And like in that particular period of time, I think that was about it. So all the groups, like when we would go on the road and there would be 4 and 5 groups on the road at one time doing a tour together, like when we went out with Ohio Players, and then we went out with Ohio Players, P-Funk, blah blah blah. P-Funk had a couple of girls here and there, but so being in that genre of music where it was so male dominated, you just had to learn your way around. You know what I'm saying? And Larry and I, though, we were together, so that cut out a lot of the nonsense, most of the time. But it was not easy. It was not easy. But I have to say, though, that the guys during that time were very respectful. They were very respectful because, all we wanted to do was make music.
They had to be respectful.
All we wanted to do was funk people up.
Did you?
Hey, well, listen. From somebody that wears a head wrap, you can't talk.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
try.
Get your head wrapped together.
Get your
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Step your head wrap game up.
Oh my
Get my
goodness.
game
So,
on. Hold on.
I have to ask you.
He knows how to rap it. That's cool.
Oh, Lord.
I told y'all, act like you don't see him. Don't act like you don't see him.
Okay.
I do have to ask you 2 questions. One is, what's in the Texas water? Because you have not aged at all. Your skin is amazing from that video to today. Okay. And then number 2, I'm telling the truth. And then I have a big sister, someone that I call a big sister, who is your niece. And that is Sweet LD.
Cousin.
Yeah, a cousin for 357, Sweet LD.
Yeah.
And so she would tell me about you all the time. And so to be able to meet you face to face, I'm completely honored and I salute you. And I just wanted to shout out your family. Most definitely.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, that girl, that's my cousin. With her, if you know her, you know she's crazy, right?
Yeah. Not literally, but
she's a little off. But I love her. She's as sweet as she wants to be. And she was a pioneer in her own right with Oaktown 357. And she had a life and she got plenty of stories to tell, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But speaking about Texas, though, I want to say that, a lot of funk came out of Texas. Larry Graham was born in Texas. Sly and his family were born in Texas. They came from Texas. So a lot of funk came out of Texas. There are others too, but I don't want to take up too much time. Just trying to say that a lot of funk came out of Texas, and people don't really know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't get a credit. You're right.
Oh, shout out to Texas, all the people watching in Texas.
Yes.
Okay,
have royalty.
that's right. East Texas, Tyler, Texas.
That's awesome.
Tyler, Texas.
Tyler.
Are you from Tyler?
Yes, I was born in Tyler, Texas.
So now I know 2 people from Tyler, Texas. Earl
Who else?
Christian
Lonnie
Campbell.
Siddons? Oh, right.
No,
That's
no,
right. He's
Earl
the one with the
Campbell.
Earl
Heisman.
Campbell.
He's the one
Earl
with the
Campbell.
Heisman Trophy, right?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
wow.
our
They
biggest
call,
claim. He's our biggest claim to fame, except
they
for
Yeah.
called him the Tyler Rose.
Except for you, that's right.
Except for you, Chocolate. That's right.
yeah. Tyler
They,
is the Rose Capital. Tyler is the
yep,
Rose
that's
Ah,
Capital. That's
they
right.
called him the Tyler Rose. He
Mm-hmm.
would
Mm.
run people
Mm-hmm.
over.
wow.
Nice. Nice.
That's
Okay,
right.
but look,
That's right.
we're going to keep things going here and move on to Ryan Nicole with her New Music Tuesday. We
All
do
right.
this segment here where she introduces something to us. So, Ryan, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you guys to some new tunes. Now, Chocolate, you're absolutely right. The funk really doesn't exist in the same way that it used to back in the day. So I had a hard time finding women who are doing music that is, in the funk genre. But there's a new genre called new funk. And I'm going to let you hear it. I personally think it's like a new wave, chill wave vibe with a little kind of funk backbeat. But the group is called Radiant Children. Sister, the two of the people are from London. They're Brits, and one of the people is from Seattle or a suburb near Seattle. And the song we're gonna play is Pokeball. It's not brand new, but it's a fun song that I think folks will enjoy. So let's check this out, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you more about some new music.
Now you're gone. Instead, I'm up in the kitchen, listening to sad songs, hoping that you won't be gone too long. Oh, won't you come back home to me? So tell me what I'm gonna do if I can't lay with you. I only find the words to say each time we walk away.
Yeah. So that's Radiant Children,
Okay.
Pokeball. Right. There's a little like twang in that vocal, and I think a lot of folks are taking their cues from Erykah Badu, who obviously took cues from women like you, Chocolate. But there's what I wanted to find was music from my sister Silky. The funk is really alive here in the Bay Area, right?
Yes.
So Silky tours with Boots Riley and his band, and I tell you, when that sister gets on the stage, anytime she grabs a mic, if Boots lets her loose, it's
Wow.
over. The show is over, right? So I want to shout out Silky, the People's Champ, as a
Yes.
representative of the Bay Area funk for sure, and just keeping that legacy alive.
Silky, my
Absolutely.
flower. What is
Okay.
that song she does? Does she give you what's it called? Does she give you what what's the name of that song?
Yes, what is that song? Silky, come on and
Dude,
tell us
Silky,
what it is.
let me know. That song,
Yes.
you talk about a crowd stopper right there.
It's called.
And her
Okay.
boldness on stage, her
Yes.
boldness is like almost unmatched. She is one that I definitely give my stamp of approval on. She's amazing vocally and can command a band like no other. I think you would be very proud of her, Chocolate.
I think you would
Okay,
too.
well, I'm gonna check her out. I'm sure she's on YouTube.
Yes,
But,
Silky.
I
And
want
she
to
sound
say
like
that
she sound like she smokes Black and Mild, drinks Hennessy, and sings in the choir.
While working in the car wash.
those
In a
are
good
all
way.
good
In a real good way.
qualifications right there.
There it is.
But I
Shout
want to
out-
say that
shout out to
the
Ron
Bay
Land
Area
Records.
has always been a mecca for funk. Like when Grand Central Station, when we were doing our thing, it was Grand Central Station, Santana, Tower Power. We used to all go to each other's houses and jam all the time with each other. And just the funk and the magic was in the air. It was like, every time I try to explain it, I really get lost for words. You had to be there, but it was in the air, and it's something, and then Slide too, and it was something about the air and the water and the whatever was going on at that time. The funk lived there. You know what I'm saying? It lived there. And to be a part of that was something I wouldn't trade for all the money in the world.
Okay, now we're talking Oakland, and I 110% agree with you. But what about bands from Europe? Funky band, because there's a soulful sound of music from bands like England, Average White Band, Brand New Heavies, these kind of groups. Incognito, one of Russ's favorites. What do you think about the groups that are coming from out of the country trying to play the funk? What do you think? Who meets your
Well, we
who
went
do you
on
respect?
the road with Average White Band and Wild Cherry. I believe that was the name of the group. And I totally respect them because the reason why I respect them is because they study. Like they know more about black music than black musicians over here in America, to be honest with you, because they have studied, they go all the way back to, the Rolling Stones, all of them, I can name them all. They all can teach. They can teach about black musicians and where the funk came from and where the music came from. So I respect them. And they are some of the most authentic sounding when it comes to doing the funk. As opposed to over here in America, like over there in Europe, they're more authentic because they've been studying, they've been listening, and they know what they're doing, and they know what they're talking about, and they know who to admire, and they know who to learn from.
Yeah, yeah.
Now Mick Jagger, didn't he help finance the James Brown movie? Wasn't he behind that movie?
Executive
His name
producer.
was all over it. Yeah, his name was all
Yeah.
over it. Yeah.
He was an executive producer.
And of course, James is the father of funk, as far as I'm concerned.
I say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but look, CJ, you got time for another song there? You got one queued up?
Yeah, always.
All right, go for it, brother.
Wait for anybody else to give you an A-OK. Stir up the gift that's in you. Just do it your way. And don't you let nobody tell you what you cannot do. This is your decade. There's greatness in you. You gotta be already motivated. I said you gotta be already motivated.
Now I got to admit, I don't know who that is. That's a Pointer Sisters?
That is Rose. That's Rose Stone.
Oh.
She's my hero. If it hadn't been for Rose and Cynthia, I wouldn't have known what to do with my life. It was because I listened to them, and I saw them in Sly and the Family Stone doing something that I had never seen black women do professionally before. I've never seen a black woman be prominent in her vocals in a band before. I've never seen a black woman play a trumpet before and be like a musician in the band. So when I saw them, that let me know that they changed my life. They let me know what I want to do with the rest of my life is. So they are my sheroes, both of them. And so that's Sly.
That's Little
Rose,
Sister,
she
yeah.
has one of the funkiest. Well, no, Little Sister is Rose's baby sister. Her name is Vet.
Got it.
But Rose, oh man, her voice is just so the gospel just
yes.
is saturated. Her voice is just saturated with it. And I love Rose's voice.
Well, that was funky right there.
That's
the
who
name
that
of
was.
one, CJ?
That was her newer stuff.
Always
She has
Motivated.
an album called Already Motivated.
Already motivated.
Oh, that's new. Is that new or what?
That's her
that's
newest
funky.
stuff. Yeah, that's kind of new. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of new.
Already
It's a wonderful.
I'm writing that
album.
down.
Check it out.
CJ's in the crates and in the future stuff too.
And in the digitals, yeah.
All in the digitals.
That's what I like about this show. I learn about new music on this show. On New
Rose
Music
Stone,
Tuesdays.
yeah, that's funky.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
Go ahead and do
it
another
is.
one, CJ. Do another one.
I know a place. Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worried. Ain't no smiling faces. No, lying to the races. Help me. Come on.
Mavis
Yes.
Staples. Now, talk about Mavis Staples. Like, come on.
Hey, oh shoot, Mavis. She's another one of my sheroes. Like she has that voice that appeals to me. Mavis is just so funky. Like I know that she did everything she could to keep from going straight into the secular. Because she was trying to be respectful to her daddy. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
Mavis, her funk just comes like from her toes. You know what I'm saying? Just comes straight from her toes. And she smoked too all the time. So it always amazes me when singers smoke and can sound, maybe that adds to the flavor of their tone and their voice and stuff. But to be able to get those notes out like that and smoke too, it's like, it's amazing. I never could smoke. I didn't like it. But just maybe it's just with the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Choc'Let, come on, give us. Oh Lord. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna blame the Benson and Hedges or the Newports. I don't know.
We're gonna blame it all.
Listen, but Mavis, my God. As soon as she opens her mouth, we just
CJ, sneak another one in.
Oh.
Baby, please be true. So don't you know a good thing, baby? Don't you know a good thing when it's staring you right in your face? Don't you know a good thing, baby?
Now, see, I know a little secret. I know that you got with CJ and helped him to pick some of the songs that you wanted to talk about. So why did you pick? I mean, other than the fact that it's a fantastic, amazing, great song and performance. Other than that, why did you pick that song?
Who, me?
It's about the singers. It's about the women. It's about the women who appeal to me. You know, whose voices appeal to me, and who I think, in my estimation, did not get the kind of recognition that they deserved. And so Vesta is one of them. Like Vesta, like Shaka ought to be glad that she was Shaka before Vesta was Shaka.
Hello, Choc'Let.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, because Vesta was right on Shaka's heels, baby.
Right there.
So you know, and I love her, and I love Shaka's voice. So of course I love Vesta, and Vesta also, although she was on Shaka's heels like that, she also took it to another level and was undeniably Vesta. You know, so
absolutely.
I have to shout her out on my list of women of funk. To me, she has to be on it.
I agree.
That's one of my favorite songs.
That's
literally.
Yeah, I heard a little birdie told me that.
I almost jumped out of my seat.
And she represented for the big girls now, for the curvy girls.
Yes, Lord.
Russell, I know you're a big fan of Vesta as well.
She lost that weight,
yes. I'm big in Vesta. And Vesta, she made that little jump to the silver screen too. She was doing her thing. And I miss her. I miss her a lot.
She was doing her thing. She was doing her thing.
Right,
so
well,
I'm just trying to give it up to the ones that I admire.
I feel it.
Well, I'm enjoying this show. If I wasn't on the show, I'd be watching the show, enjoying the show. Since I'm on the show, hey. See, I was about to introduce you in your segment too. See how you treat me? We got one more segment here, and it belongs to Mr. Russell Gaywood. Russell, give us the view from the DJ booth.
So I don't have anything that's speaking to the glory of the women of funk. I don't have that, but I do have a picture. We got a chance to play with the Isley Brothers a few times, and this is a shot that I'm going to share from the Paramount Theater, a recent show with Ernie, and this was during Voyage to Atlantis, one of CJ Flash's favorite songs. Right? I caught a shot from the wings, and it's a pretty good shot.
Oh. Look at that.
That is a good one.
That's a great shot.
That's amazing.
I know what note he's playing right now, too.
Okay, that's Voyage to Atlantis or something right there.
We going.
Now, see, what you got to understand, Choc'Let, is Russell takes all these beautiful shots that we show every week with his camera phone from the DJ booth. That's why we call it a view from the DJ booth. And just amazing shots just like that one,
That was amazing. That's a beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So I'm gonna have to, when we can go outside and play again, I'm gonna have to come out and see you and take a shot of you.
Exactly.
That'll be me.
That would be nice.
Like this with the phone.
That would be nice. Whenever that happens, when is that going to happen? Somebody tell me in the name of Jesus.
Exactly.
It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen.
She said, in the name of Jesus, somebody tell me.
Okay.
So, Russell, how did you get that close to this genius at work. Tell us about it.
Well, actually, he wanted to play next to the world famous DJ booth. That's what he wanted to do.
Right.
So I just turned to my right. I said, "CJ, let me get over here and take this picture." No, we get some very cool vantage points from depending on where we're set up on stage. Sometimes we're in the pit. Sometimes we're right on the stage. So I just, I think because I'm using a phone to take these pictures, no one's really tripping. But if I had a camera, somebody would say, "Hey, you can't be here." So I just turn around. I just look real quick and try to catch a moment.
Russell, ain't nobody saying hey to you at all.
Not with that gun show, sir.
Okay,
that
not
is
hey,
not true. That is
Not
true.
with that turban on his head. They don't know what to say.
Oh, no,
right, turban, and you're flexing a muscle. I don't know.
Okay, no,
look,
sir.
Look,
They're very confused.
It's not a turban. It is a head wrap. I worked hard on that.
Get it straight. It's a head wrap. Get it straight.
It's a head wrap.
It was a wrapped head. I'll say that.
It was. That's it right there.
Can we ask, by the way, what you happen to be doing with that there? I mean, just how you happen to have that?
I didn't actually. When you were taking one of your solo shots, I ran to the upstairs to the door and grabbed the scarf real quick. That's all.
Okay. Well,
I have these opportunities because there's so many Jerry Dove solo shots. I can just go do what I want to do.
Well, Choc'Let, when you're telling your friends about what good time you had on the show, you feel free to leave certain parts out.
They're already looking, so it's too late for that. No, too late.
Wow,
I don't know the audience.
Where can I get one of those wraps? Hold on.
They said it's a dish towel.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say somebody said that was a dish towel.
They said it's a whole dish towel.
It's a big, gigantic dish towel.
Speaking of which, all the people that are viewing right now, please, in the comments, say, is it a wrap or is it a dish towel? Drop it in the comments right now, and we'll talk, towel later.
Oh, Lord, that's a big old dish towel. See, that's not a dish towel.
No, that's not a dish towel.
That looks like you could wear it as a sarong or a sarong.
It might be a sarong.
It could be my King Joffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay. Hey, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Let's get back to the music. See,
that's what I hear.
That's fine with me.
You thought you hadn't found a good girl, one to love you and give you the world. Now you find that you've been misused. Talk to me, I'll do what you choose. I want you to tell mama all about it. Tell mama what you need.
Miss Etta James. So,
man,
speaks for herself. But speak on it, Choc'Let.
Yeah, it absolutely speaks for herself. I mean, Etta. Come on, Etta led a life that just like her essence like poured out in every note. You know what I'm saying? She was like so deep and so soulful and so sad in many ways too, because I got to know her. But she was a pioneer. And like I said, that brown liquor thing, boy, just comes straight through in her voice. When she sings that song about I'd rather go blind than to see you be with somebody else.
Ooh,
Lord have mercy.
Ooh. So, I can't agree. I can't do it now. I'm gonna just let him go on.
So there, she
Next.
had to be on the list. You know what I'm saying? She was one of the founders. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
True.
She said she would rather go blind than see him with somebody.
She said, I would rather go blind than to see you with somebody else.
You know what? I'd rather you go blind than me see you. How about that?
Because I need all of my
and let me help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
I
but
can help
I'm just saying.
She can go blind too.
I'm saying though. That's how deep her feelings were.
That's how deep
it was.
I get it.
That's how deep it was.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
And look, we're talking about the song 60 years later, so it meant something. So
okay.
Keep it going, CJ. We got time for just a couple more songs, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this one from the video archives. How about that?
Okay, all right. Wow.
Praise the Lord,
Wow.
saints. Praise the Lord.
I think I just pulled a muscle in my throat just watching that.
My
Good Lord.
goodness. My goodness. We're going to pass the collection plate right now.
Okay.
And collection plate and some brown liquor for everybody. Come on.
Everybody. Well, that was at the Fillmore West.
Wow.
And that was during the reunion tour.
Wow.
And that was I Can't Stand the Rain by Ann Peebles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that was I
was
Can't
amazing.
Stand the Rain by Choc'Let. That's what that was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your song now. You own that one.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And what I love is that, I mean, you just command the stage with such power, but yet you're so ladylike, honey. She had a pretty little dress with the thigh boots.
With the thigh boots. I saw the thigh boots.
She wasn't scared of nobody in the audience and nobody on the stage.
Nobody.
Go off, man.
I got a question.
Once again. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we fangirling. I'm sorry, but I got to ask you a question. Do you feel like you become another person on stage? You're so demure and quiet and you just, soft right now, but I know you get on that stage, clearly there's a whole lion inside of you. So do you become somebody new or not?
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Like, it's about the funk. It's what the funk does to you. And once you get into that zone, it just takes you. And all you do is just put your seatbelt on. That's all you do. And you just take that ride. You just take that ride and you just be in that zone and you just go where it takes you. And of course, you got to screw your face up. Did y'all see the facial expressions I was making?
Yes.
And without that, you got to have that. But really, that's all it is. Because you're right. I am like, I'm kind of. CJ accuses me of being shy, but I am a different person when I do get on the stage, and it's not something that I'm trying to do or think about doing. I just let the music take me out, and I just get in that funk zone, and then that's it until it's. I remember times I was sick, as I don't know what, going out on that stage. When you're doing one-nighters and you're doing it month after month after month, women get sick. They have special women things that make them sick. And but as soon as I would hit that stage, it would all disappear until it was over. until I walked off the stage. Then it would all hit me again. But
Right.
truly though, it does. A couple of you are performers, so you already know what I'm talking about. You just go in another zone.
I feel
That's
you. I feel
amazing.
you. Yeah.
Beautifully feminine, yet beautifully powerful. I salute you.
Yep.
I salute you.
Thank you.
I,
Thank you very much.
I thank you for acknowledging the fact that I'm a performer. I appreciate that. So
No problem. No problem.
thank you.
Okay, so you just honoring both of these crazy men.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it up to him. I'm gonna give it up to him.
All right, Papa, bless your heart.
Love you, Jerry. Yes.
Don't you bless my heart. I know what you mean when you say bless my heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless your
Bless your heart.
Well, listen, Choc'Let, we're going to wrap this up here, but I'm going to give you the option to do one thing. What we like to do now is kind of go around the horn real quick and see what all these talented people are doing in the next week. Would you like to stick around and hear that, or do you got to run right now?
No, because I got some. I got to send people to One Stop Funk Shop and all that.
Okay, well we're gonna make sure we do that with you too. So let's go ahead and we'll save you for last. How about that? We'll save you for last.
Okay,
That'll keep
that
them
sounds
listening.
good.
So, Ryan Nicole, what you got going on this week?
Well, word on the streets is I have a performance with the San Francisco Black History Month celebration. So that'll be popping up. And I'm actually, other than that, I think I'm keeping it pretty mellow. The following week, I'll be up on the big screen at Fort Mason. Labor short film will be screening in addition or in front of a larger feature film that features my folks Soul Development, Kariga Bailey, called When the Waters Get Deep. It's a drive-in movie, and I think I don't believe it's sold out yet, but it's pretty close. But yeah, definitely check that out. That'll happen, I believe, February 23rd. I'll make sure I come back next week and let you guys know for sure.
That's a Tuesday?
I believe. I don't know. Is it a Tuesday? You tell me. Siri, is it a Tuesday?
Turn up.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I hope it's pre-recorded.
It is pre-recorded. It's on
good,
movie,
The
sir.
movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just heard Tuesday in San Francisco, and I blinked out for a minute.
I'm sorry. I
blinked out. I got all selfish and everything. Like, where you going? What you talking about?
Jerry Ike Turner.
Jerry thinks it's Rocky Horror Picture Show or something.
Right. I'm not performing live.
I don't even know what that means.
Anyway.
But isn't it funny how Ryan's always talking about she's laying low and then she got only 3 things that she's doing as opposed to 7. Only, it's always like, well, I'm laying low. I got this, and I'm like,
it's
okay.
Pre-recorded though, like you said before. So.
Well, I got you the San Francisco Black History Month event, so thank you for doing that. I saw the video today; was fantastic as usual, and appreciate that. So, Purple Cherry Productions, y'all. Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Tracy Anderson, CEO of Plush Life Media. I know you're always busy too. What you got going on?
Well, I'm done a little bit of something. This week, I will be on Thursday. This Thursday, I'm going to be sitting with Cindy Watson from IRTS Cosmetics, and we're going to talk about skincare. We're going to talk about makeup application. We'll talk about tools that you need. You know what I mean? When applying makeup for all of us that may be tool and makeup challenge. With all of us being in the house, for such extended periods of time, we need all the eye cream and moisturizers that we can get our hands on, okay? So we'll be talking about that. It's always a wonderful conversation. We've done one session already, and so this will be our second installment, and that's going to be on my Instagram. All right, so you want to make sure you go to Plush Life Media to check me out over there. And then this Friday, I'm going to be on Clubhouse. I don't know if everybody is on Clubhouse. I know Russell isn't because, well, he did that, that head wrap thing, and he has an Android, but that's okay. No shade, respectfully. No, but on Friday, I'm going to be sitting with David Burris, who's originally from the Bay Area, and he's a relationship expert. And, oh, look at Russell. He's a relationship expert. And so we're going to talk about some amazing topics about the heart of men and just, key factors in the relationship space. So that, if you want to follow me on that platform, it is Plush Life Media, at Plush Life Media. So we're going to have fun and have some other things cooking up as well. But that's it for me.
Yeah, so Choc'Let, if you're a late night person, that's when she does her Instagram stuff. So she's up starts at 11:30 and stuff like that, right?
No, I was before, but mother's tired. Okay. Outside, and it was showing up in her face. It's still showing up in my face. So no, we'll be coming on probably about 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
On Thursday, because I'm trying to exercise some discipline. I think it was like that when the pandemic first hit, and so I would just kind of go on Instagram to encourage people, make people laugh, pray for people, do whatever was necessary in that moment, just to help us all get by, because it was craziness. So yeah, but at this point, just stop on by. In fact, I'll go live tonight after the show.
All right.
After the show is the after party.
Okay.
All right, Russell and CJ, who's going to talk about the Friday extravaganza?
Well, Tracy is selling herself short, first of all. What she was doing on Instagram was medicine. A lot of people needed it. She had it to give. She is anointed. She is blessed, and she helped a ton of people out. So I got to put it out there for you, sister. All right. It was true. It was digital medicine. All right.
Still necessary.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
So Fridays, I am selling dish towels and head wraps. All right.
Oh my goodness!
And this I'm combining it with Jerry's Sham Wow. You remember that?
It's called a mouse pad. The mouse pad.
So we're doing dish towels and mouse pads. That's what we're doing Friday.
Sham Wow.
All right. We have a show on Fridays. It's called it's called the world famous. We call it the extravaganza, though. They have a lot of fun. 12 noon to 4 p.m. every Friday on twitch.tv, Mixcloud, hotdogwater.com, Facebook, Periscope, and of course, the Gram. It's on the Gram live, uninterrupted though, on Twitch and Mixcloud. That's the best way to get us. It's me and CJ, and we're just having a blast playing a lot of good soul music, cassette classics. I like to call it cassette classics in the mix. And we have a lot of fun. So many people just join and hang in and get in all the chat rooms, and throw out requests, and where can I get this? And CJ's not wearing any headphones. It's a lot of fun. And we have a slow jam battle at the end of the show. It's a lot of fun. So come on now, hang out with us. It's the world famous show.
There it is. CJ, you want to add?
And best of all, it's free.
Yeah.
Free 99.
Free. It's free. You just come hang out. It's a lot of fun. We have a blast. Russ always starts off the show and takes it there. And once he takes it there, I have to jump all these hurdles to kind of keep up with him. And so, but we have a lot of fun. It
is fun. I love to. I look forward to it every Friday. I really do.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. Well, so this week for me, again, my other company, Purple Cherry Productions, like Ryan suggested, that I'm happy to, with my friend Deanna Roberts, being the events planner. She hired me to get some entertainment. And we got Miranda Wilson's going to be the MC. Ryan DeCola done some poetry. I also got Martin Luther and Jen Johns providing songs for us. That's coming up on the 23rd. You'll hear more about that and see more about that on my Facebook pages. I also was honored to be interviewed on the Inspired Conversations with Kim Evans. It'll be available on Apple Podcasts and YouTube tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. She talked to me for about 45 minutes, and I rambled on and said a couple of things that made sense and a lot of things that didn't, but I think it came out okay. And also, too, just so that you see it, Choc'Let, I'll get your address and I will send you a goodie bag filled with things like this mouse pad. Oh, wait, it doesn't even all fit into the frame. Look at that. We got to keep the IRTS store going at IRTSshow.com. And there's Kim Evans' thing with me. I remember when I used to wear suits.
I know. What is that you're wearing? What's that strange ensemble?
That's called it's pants and a top that go together. As opposed to sweatpants and what I'm wearing now. So
nice.
So I look forward to seeing that tomorrow, and hope you guys can join us. And Kim, Kim is an Energizer bunny, and so the show was a lot of fun, and I was happy to do that.
Now, that's Kim Evans in the Bay Area, right?
Absolutely.
I think her father, Mr. C, used to do my hair.
All right.
I think that's her dad.
I don't know.
So shout out to
Okay.
Mr. C.
All right, Mr. C. All right. Now, Choc'Let, tell us what you got going on.
Last one.
Okay.
Not
Well,
least.
first of all, I can't wait to get my swag bag. Okay.
Okay,
Don't
I'm gonna
sell
get
it.
your
Don't
address.
send
I'm
it
gonna
to
send
me.
you
Don't
some.
send it to me because if you
Girl,
don't send it to me, I'm gonna go on social media and say I did not get it. Okay. Number one.
Ooh,
Number
I
two.
like her.
Why you
I
threatening me
want
before
to
I could even
thank.
get in the mail?
I want.
Give me give
I
me a
want
chance
to
to
thank.
fail
I want to
first.
thank. I want to thank. I want to thank. Come on. Here I go.
All right.
I want to thank CJ because
Yes.
he is my buddy and he's been my buddy for a very long time. And I so appreciate you, CJ. And you are just as cute as ever.
Ah,
And so thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want,
sweet, thank
yeah, he's cute. And
Cute.
so I want to say
Yeah, I
that
I mean,
I sell t-shirts. I sell
Okay.
t-shirts. I sell funk apparel in conjunction with my partner Stozo Ronald Edwards. Ronald is a artist supreme. He's done album cover art for P-Funk, Parlettes, all that. He's legendary. So we have gotten together and collaborated. So we have a t-shirt collection that you're going to love. And also my books, Deja Vu, Memoirs of a Funk Diva. That is on there. So come over to One Stop Funk Shop. That's the number one. One Stop Funk Shop, and pick up all your funk apparel. Okay. And what else? I think that's about it, except to say that I have had such a wonderful time. You know, I do a lot of these interviews, and some are more fun than others. And this one has been wonderful. Seriously, I have had a really good time, and I thank you so much.
So thank
And
you for joining us.
may the
Go ahead.
funk be, and may the funk be with all of y'all. Okay,
Hey.
everybody.
Appreciate that, but I want you to know I bought your book, so I can't wait to get that. And if I don't get it in the mail in the next week, I'm gonna get on social media and tell everybody I bought my book and didn't get it. Now, two can play that game, all right?
All right, you gonna do me like that?
You did me like
Yes,
that.
you did.
He
You
just
ordered
heard.
the book. Yes, you did, and
Yes,
it
I
will
did.
be getting out to you. But these are unpredictable times.
And that's
Mm.
right.
So
You
may
can't
not
control the
you may
post
not
office.
Wait,
I
say
can't
what?
control the post office,
Uh-huh.
but it's gonna go out right away. And I
Okay,
love you
all right.
guys, and thank you so much.
We love you
Thank you.
too. You
Thank
be
you.
well, be healthy.
CJ,
I got to get my directions straight sometimes.
There you go.
Well, this was a fun show. I hope everybody enjoyed it out there. This is IRTS Live. We talked about the women of funk with our guest Choc'Let Banks. I want to say thank you to my friends Tracy Anderson, Russell Gatewood, Ryan Nicole, CJ Flash, and of course, I'm Jerry Dove. We'll see you next week on IRTS Live.
Thank you.
CJ.
IRTS Live is brought to you by United Players. It takes the hood to save the hood. Lifelong medical care, offering high-quality health, dental, and social services to all ages and incomes. Safe Source LLC, where safety is our engine, and we are the key that starts it. This episode is powered by PlushLifeMedia.com. Let us remix your digital presence. Hey, we've got gear. Visit IRTSShow.com for coffee cups, caps, t-shirts, and just added IRTS Live mouse pads and personal protective masks. Founded by our own Ryan Nicole. Check out Haven, a cultural media production and distribution initiative for housing justice. Find out more at havenprojectoakland.com. Join DJs Big Russ and CJ Flash for the world-famous show live Fridays, noon to 4 Pacific. Catch them on the following social media platforms. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email us at info@irtsshow.com.